The penultimate race of the day is race number 8. It's due off at 16:03, 1800 meters in front of them. In the 8th race, I'm going to look for some value here. I'm going to tip two runners at 10-1 and 12-1, and I'm going to give you their names shortly. Number 6, Dark Moon Down, and number 7, Sacred Ibis. And when we see the horses to follow later on, I'll be suggesting these are two runners that you keep a very close eye on. Obviously, horses like 5, Isla Marada, number 3, Abbey Wood, 8, Bassett Sana. There's a little bit of form, and number 11, Rise. These are horses who come into the equation. But number 7, Sacred Ibis, a horse who's come right down in the ratings from about an 85 down to a 64. So from the last run was dropped from a 67 to a 64. And this is a merit rating strike for me, Sacred Ibis. The other meeting, Brass Bell, when Garth Puller came through, also dropped right down in the ratings. And I get the same sort of feel for Sacred Ibis at around 12-1. Still a two-time winner, but she has got a win on the poly. And I think if things map out for her, she's a huge run at around 12-1. The stable has turned the corner of late. And number 7, Sacred Ibis, I think Garth Puller, who does own the daughter of Byword, she's a lovely grey. A little bit of a tricky ride. Take her down to the start quietly, and in the race you've just got to get her out the gates, get her into a striking position. And I believe number 7, Sacred Ibis, at 12 and 14-1 represents the value. So does number 6, Dark Moon Down. If you look at her last run, she finished 5th, just over 2 lengths behind Fire Fairy. She was staying on that occasion, and whilst she's yet to win on the poly, she's only had the one run on the poly, which was last time out. Kyle Stradham gets the ride. If you go back in her earlier form, you got Farland, Before Noon, Preferential, so some nice company that she's kept. And if she doesn't prefer the turf and the poly track is not going to find her out, I think number 6, Dark Moon Down, around about 10-1. Take some swingers, trifectas with the 6 and the 7. But not a race where you can go light. Obviously, you got to look at number 5, Isla Marada. Decent second to keep on dancing last time out, and a horse who's also been taking on some stronger opposition of late, was just over 2 lengths behind Silver Magic in the penultimate run. Looking at Isla Marada, she's a 2-time winner, and both victories have come on the poly surface, so you've got to give her healthy respect. Number 3, Abbey Wood, good post-maiden run when finishing second to Fire Fairy. And number 2, Twice as Special. You can never ignore the Tony Nassif stable. So keep a close eye. I think this is a race where you go large. And for me, Dark Moon Down and Sacred Ibis, they could represent the value in what looks to be just about a field race.